a little while, so nothing.
Fight like Azgeda.
Like a good Azgeda supply.
Drop the gun. You gotta bury your love and your anger so deep they'll never find it. It's not that hard.
Yeah, for you.
That's all you would do. The good little spy. Shut up.
Do anything for her.
The alternative isn't war. Is that what you want?
You can betray the bitch that claims to love.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Just like having someone give you orders and do the thing for yourself. Always following her master's way. You go next day, okay?
Well, that woman. We follow.
I'm sorry, too. I don't tolerate it.
What is she doing here? Don't let me down. If you cry, they'll hear you. I said I wanted you alive. No one is coming to save you.
This isn't a plan.
Plans change. Because it's time to do better.
He's our friend!
No one wants war.
Following rules isn't how you win a war.
Loyalty is your weakness.
Hesitation is death. Take the shot.
Glow in the dark panel. Imagine, that'd be fun. Tasya Teles, come on out, sister. Hi. Move a little closer, there. It's easier. How are you?
Who was there last night?
At the party?
But I am hungover. Is anyone else feeling you with that one?
I'm just tired.
Oh, you're just tired?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, I mean.
Yeah. That?
What? No, I'm good.
Knock everything over. You go ahead, talk.
It just knocked everything over.
Yep.
Do you help with
that?
that?
Don't mind me.
Is this a little, like, what is this?
I have a herniated disc, so it's a back pillow.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
very
cool.
exciting stuff, you guys. Very exciting. I'm sure that's what you signed up for this panel. But thank you for asking.
Hi. Hi. I love that you called me Tass. That always makes me happy when someone's like, yo, Tass. I'm like, yeah, what's up?
Do people not call you that in real life?
They do.
Okay.
But like, it's an immediate kind of like, we're friends.
Right.
You know, they're like, hey, Tass. I'm
Hey,
like,
Tass. Yes.
Love it.
How's your con been so far?
Really great.
Great.
I usually kind of like roll in pretty hard. Like me and Chelsea are kind of like, bam! You know, like coming in hot, and I'm trying to like pace myself. We're gonna go to Salem and see the witches.
You can see the witches?
See the witches.
Nice. I can see you playing a witch.
Me too.
Yeah.
I
Let's
love
let's.
witches.
What?
I'm reading a book about witches. I read several books about witches.
Interesting. Is it for a project?
Nope, it's for myself.
Okay, just checking. Self-project. Okay.
Yeah, a self-project.
I will actually talk about the last season because I feel like you got so much to do and you've got a backstory. And what was your response when you read about your origin story, finally?
It's funny because I feel like with Echo, it was kind of one of those things that like everybody was cobbling together. Like there was a lot of questions because like, she just kind of showed up. She had no story and no family, except we knew that like Queen Naya was like, you know, like we knew that she was from there. But I'm like, are we gonna ever get there?
Was it nice though to finally have something?
It was. And it was really cool that Bob, it was his first director episode that he ever did. And I was like, of course, this makes perfect sense that he would be the one to direct this story. So it was really great. Yeah.
That's very cool. And then the stuff you got to do with Hope, you know, when you were playing house for a while, so different.
Who loves Hope? I love her so much. That was such a treat. She's so cool. Like, she was like, she just got out of theater school and she came on to the 100 and I was like, That's a big undertaking.
Yeah, she was like her first job.
Yeah, it was her first job.
Not too bad, Shelby.
Totally, Shelby's the best.
She is.
She should be here.
I do have a random question. Pardon? Well, Diosa's, I mean, we all have a crush on Diosa.
We all have a crush
Yeah.
on Diosa.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a very silly question, but it always made me laugh. I always was wondering why on earth you cut off your hair and got a short girl haircut in the last season, but they never explained why.
I love you.
I mean, I liked it because like that's my kind of style, but it was you and Hope all of a sudden had some short hair.
Okay, so here's the story.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
They wanted me to shave my head on camera. I was with Marie, and Marie's like, huh, they tried to get me to do that too. And I was like, really? And Jason was like, it'd be really cool if like, this happened. And I was like, I'm just like listening, taking it. Because at first your initial reaction is like, no, you know, I'm not shaving. And then I'm like, it could be kind of cool. And so I think they were intending, like when Echo really lost her mind when Bellamy died and she like scarred her face, I think that they were intending for it to be like this whole like, she's like, screw everything I've learned in the last few seasons and the family I've made. She's like, I'm out for blood, you know, and she was gonna shave her head, just like go out there ruthlessly. But I think that kind of shifted, and she just showed up with a new haircut.
I'm just gonna cut my hair really short and I'm gonna have a matching haircut with Hope.
Yeah, okay. That was like what we were doing as sisters. We're just like, here you like beauty night. Yeah.
I will say your last season costume seemed kind of comfortable compared to maybe Echo's earlier warrior costume.
It's funny that you say that because it was the least comfortable.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
In fact, like there's photos of me and Shuku and Shelby who were all wearing, you know, like the thing, they look like stormtrooper outfits to me.
Yeah.
And like you can't sit in them. So we're all like trying to relax and we're like
Not at all awkward.
So like not at all awkward. Or we're like leaning on things like you can't sit in them.
Hello P, I'm sure.
Yeah. That was
a whole other thing. Yeah. Okay, tell us about Shoresy and where people can watch it, and because that's your current thing.
Okay, who knows about Shoresy? I know David does. 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, 7 people.
I think we got to 10.
Bums in seats.
Bums in seats. So there's.
This morning there's about hockey.
What's that?
You said this morning you learned about hockey.
I learned about hockey.
Well, tell us what Shoresy is.
So Shoresy is a comedy. So there's a show called Letterkenny. It is from Canada. It's a cult comedy show. It's also Brad Pitt and a few other people that I admire, their favorite show. And so this show has been on for 12 seasons. It's really funny, it's really intelligent, but it's like stupid. It's so intelligent and so dumb at the same time. You know what I mean? It's just like this hybrid of like the stupidest comedy that's really intelligent. And you're like, wow, it's confusing.
Highbrow.
And so one of the characters named Shore, he's a brute hockey player that he's just like a fan favorite, and they did a spin-off from Letterkenny, and I play the owner of this hockey team, and I have to try to get him in line, and that's a tough time.
It sounds like Hannah Waddingham's role on Ted Lasso, owning a team.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
It's a very similar thing to Ted Lasso.
And then where can people watch it right now?
They can watch it on Hulu.
Oh, nice. Hulu's hooking everybody
It
up.
was the #1 comedy in Canada. It was the #1 show on the network.
Do you like doing comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
What a nice change of pace.
Yeah, you're not as dirty.
No, I'm not. I'm wearing normal clothes.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a game called.
What's that?
It's on in Canada.
In Canada, it's on Crave. Yeah.
I'm gonna play a game I'm playing with everyone called Name This TV Movie, where I'm gonna describe a movie and you have to remember what the hell it was called that you were in. Oh, you don't get the cheat, girl.
I was just going for
Okay, just
casual
making sure.
walk.
Okay. Years after the annulment of their spontaneous marriage, a couple discovers a mistake in the paperwork that means they're still husband and wife. You were in this TV movie.
Did you say midwife?
No.
Oh. Come again?
Annulment, marriage, mistake in the paperwork, still married. Autumn Dreams.
Autumn Dreams!
What the hell was Autumn Dreams?
It was a lovely movie.
Okay. Do you remember you have a very, very fun character name in that one? What is it? Giovanna Jorgensen.
Oh yeah.
What the hell kind of name is that?
So this is where I basically felt like there's a dinner and I go ape shit on my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, this is a different one actually. Autumn Dreams was like, you know, Lifetime movies and like Hallmark movies can be kind of similar sometimes. And Autumn Dreams was with
That guy and that girl.
that guy and that girl.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Tell us about appearing on Legacies recently.
That was great.
That's very cool. It's a
Yeah.
very popular show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not around. I don't think it did. It get
Not.
canceled?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was playing a goddess. That was also, I was alive for a few thousand years. I had to do a monologue. We were walking around on a dock together, and I would help people cross from limbo into heaven or hell. And yeah, it was great. And they were going to do a spin-off of I think Gods into a new show, and then it got canceled.
And now there's no CW anymore.
And now the CW doesn't
There's
exist.
no Mo. You were amazing at it, he said.
Oh, thank you.
Tell us about being on Prison Break back in the day.
That was awesome also.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. I played an FBI agent, and I knew all the things. And there was a girl that was hitting on me, and I was really into her. And so I gave her all the secrets, because I wanted to hang out with her more, And I realized I got played.
Did they kill you off?
What?
Did they kill you off?
They didn't kill me off.
Okay.
But yeah, like
Didn't work out.
didn't work out.
Okay, fair enough. You have, according to IMDb, 2 upcoming projects. One called In Deep INN. If you could guess, it's probably a movie that's maybe, is it holiday themed?
Is it what?
Is it holiday themed? In Deep.
No.
Okay.
Why would you think it's holiday?
Because like Welcome to the Inn, where you have to find a tree. I don't know.
I love you.
I love you too. We're all tired.
Yes. This one is about a. Yeah, I'm tired too. This one is about. I don't know how much to give away of this one. It's a horror film.
Okay.
And it takes place in an inn, and there's like some Wicca, like sorcery happening.
That's where your new witches.
I love witches.
Okay. I like it. That's fair. Okay.
That's
How
it.
about, this is the title. This is a mouthful. The Morning After the Night Before.
Oh, please don't see that.
Don't see it?
Don't see it.
Okay. Fair
My
enough.
friend-
Cross it off your list.
Cross it off your list.
Okay.
Only because
Fair enough.
I don't know that I want to get into that.
All right.
There's just a sex scene and I say some crazy things and that's all.
Wow. Okay. So not your
So
favorite.
my friend was making a movie and they're like, Tasya, do you want to be in it? And I was like, sure. Anything for a friend. And then I saw the script and I was like, whoops.
You're a good friend.
I am a good friend.
But is it ever going to be released? Okay. So X marks the spot. We're going to pretend I didn't say that. We'll rewind the tape.
I love this game we're playing.
I know.
Can I bring up a few things? Your best. You want to talk about?
Shit, I'm sober, but sure.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
No, we don't.
Come on.
But tomorrow.
Tomorrow, for sure,
Tomorrow,
yes.
back strong.
We do have a microphone right there if anyone would like to line up and ask Tasya about anything besides the movie we're not going to talk about ever again, like Voldemort. We have a microphone right there. You can also just raise your hand and we'll call on you because we're super chill at this point in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not going well. Just, what was your favorite fight scene? One with Marie, one where you kick Clark's ass, or one of the ones in season 7? Because you had a
The
whole
ones in
bunch of
season-
seasons.
So in season 7, there was this like one scene where like I had to learn how to use a bow staff, and then I like also had to use fire, and like it was a whole thing where I basically like bow staffed my way around like this big expanse, and I remember just being so ready for it. But like it was like 5 in the morning by the time like I was sitting there sleeping. They had so many stunts. They came and woke me up. They're like, Tasya, we're ready for you. And you have to do it in one take. And I was like, what? I have to do a whole bow staff thing in one take? I was like, that's not fair. So But like that's one of the cooler fight scenes that I had to learn the fight sequences. But it was the most fun with Marie, because like her and I were just like two idiots. Yeah, two peas in pod.
So Shorzy is fucking hilarious, and I was wondering if it's hard for you to like rattle off like the back and forth, because like you guys, the diction is so quick and like the comebacks are like even quicker. Is it hard for you? Like, do you ever get tongue twisted trying to like rattle back at Shorzy, like when you yell at him or like call him stupid or whatever?
Yes. So Shorzy is like quick, boom, 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 boom. It's like really, really fast dialogue, and comedy has to maintain like a rhythm. And so like you kind of feel like you're like, ah, you know, like, and you know, like your turn is coming, because it's like a ping pong ball bouncing around. But it was a good challenge. You know, drama's slower. Drama's like about like, you're like, let's sit in this moment and like think about things. Whereas comedy, like this was like, bah, 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 and like, you know, and so it was really tough, because also we did like 30-page days, which doesn't happen. 1 page of dialogue or 1 page in the script is 1 minute of airtime. So 30 pages in 1 day is like filming an entire episode in 1 day. And I just would look at the call sheet and I'd be like, woo, here we go, this is happening. But it's like any muscle, you learn how to, you know, you figure it out and you hope for the best.
Well, you did a really good job. Also, if you go to Salem, Mass, where the witches are, you should go to Barrio. It's a taco place that has really good drinks, and I painted the bathrooms. Some of them.
No way! You painted the bathrooms?
Yeah.
What color are they?
Painted a witch. No, like art, like hot.
Oh! What's the color palette?
They're bright orange, but I made an actual art.
No way!
That's
cool.
Check it out. And
I
the food's
will.
really good too. So.
What time does it open?
It's open until 12 or 1 on the weekend, so you can go late night.
On Sunday?
Sunday they close.
Guys, are we going to Salem this week? Yeah. We are? Okay. That's happening. Thank you. Nice. Hi.
So I'm interested in like what characters kind of do in like downtime, especially like Echo when she first goes to space with like the other people. I feel like you don't see like what that dynamic would be like, because I feel like it must be so weird. So you could just talk about like what you think Echo did at like the first couple months in space.
Like, the thing that I find so funny about Echo is like that she's so internal and doesn't want anyone to know what she's thinking. So there's probably like a lot of like, you know, like, and then like just playing with shit, but trying to look like she knows what's going on. You know, like, there's probably a lot of private time just being like, what the fuck? You know, like, what is happening right now? Because it's the exact opposite of everything she's familiar with. Like, imagine. What's that?
To go from living how she lived to like living in space.
I mean, if you lived in space, you'd probably be doing that. And we know that that's a thing. She didn't. But also, like, I think that, you know, hanging out with Bellamy, and I think her and Monty, for some reason, I don't know why, I feel like they just gelled. And I also feel like her and Murphy had like a brother-sister relationship that was really hilarious up there. And she just, yeah, like would train sword fighting and yeah.
Thank you.
Huh? Exactly. Yeah.
I always thought it was interesting that Imori, you know, was also a graduate space, and she was much more interested in the tech, and you were interested in doing
Nope.
the training, and none of that.
None of that.
None of that.
Aces in their places.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, like, so obviously you are cast as Echo, but if you could have played any other character, who would you have played?
I mean, that, like, it changes, you know, because there's such a great collection of people to choose from. Like, sometimes, like, I'll listen to everyone else talk, and I'm like, ooh, right, that's pretty cool about that character. And I'm like, that's the character I want to play. But I feel like Lexa would be great, Octavia, Luna, you know, like any of the grounders, I'm really into like these strong like grounder roles. I love Raven and Clark, a little bit more complicated, you know? I don't want to be around technology. I like swords, I like fights, I feel like that, I like that kind of stuff. So that's, yeah, I think that role. Thank you.
I was just wondering, what was the most emotionally draining scene for you to do as Echo? Because throughout the seasons, like season 7, we get her backstory, but even before that, she goes through a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, so there was like a few different times that Echo, like where like they write it in, like, and then Echo screams in pain, and I'm like trying to think back over the seasons of like, well, is this one harder for her than the last one? But I think one of the ones was when she had to tell Bellamy that she thought she killed Octavia. Like there was a stillness that day on set with Bob and I and whoever was working that was really sacred. It was really pure and it was really connected and I loved it. And then also when she found out Bellamy died, like that actually, honestly, was the most emotionally draining because like I'm supposed to pull down this thing and just like stab this person in this chair, this poor guy, and I went to the edge of like, it was built up kind of like this stage, so I was here and I went to the edge of it and I dropped down on my knees and I was just like, ah, and I started screaming over and over and over again, and they called cut. And then I was so full, it was just coming out, I was just like rocking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and like the director was like, wait, keep rolling. They like kept on, because I was just like, it started and I can't stop now. Like it was just like, you know, like all of this pain that we all store in our bodies, it's like when you crack it open sometimes, it just keeps coming. And I remember just like, after I was like, whew. I was like, that felt good, you know, and everyone was like, wow, that was, like, wow. They're like, you made noises like I've never heard before. I was like, yeah, guys. You dug deep. Yeah, I dug deep. It was really, it was awesome, you know? Yeah. And it was like, it surprised me, but it happened in that scene. And I think for Echo, that would be it too, because she was so connected to Bellamy that like, for her, that was a huge loss, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, hello.
Hi.
There she is.
I have 2 things to say and then a question for you. So, one, I just wanted to say, I think it's really awesome how friendly and personable you are. I've always like noticed that in all of your interviews. You're always like so like happy and energetic, and I love it. Secondly, because of your interest in the witches, I wanted to share with you that my ancestor was actually the first person to be executed in the Salem witch trial.
New best friend.
Yeah, new best friend.
New best friend.
Okay, so when are we talking? And I have so many questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to trade spots?
What year? Do you know what year that was?
I don't, but I do know that I got something in the mail and we like registered to be a part of like the national like Daughters of Salem Witches or something.
What?
Nice. You know what? You should watch Motherland Fort Salem.
I have.
So good.
I was just with Taylor Hickson in
Oh, that's right.
London
That's
2
right.
weeks ago, and she's a gangster.
Yeah.
I've told her she's my new best friend also. So
Absolutely.
New best friend? New best friend?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Witches.
That's really cool lineage, though.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And then my next question was, what was it like working with Marie and playing out that dynamic? Because the Echo and Octavia dynamic was so interesting.
How did you find it?
Like, how did I find it interesting? I thought it was really interesting because in the beginning, like, you know, they obviously clashed a lot, but I think by the end of the show, they started to kind of understand each other more, which I thought was really cool because of the arc.
Yeah. It was really interesting, yeah, you're right, because like there was this scene when Blood Reina like came out from beneath the ground, and like and I remember it raining that day, and like me and Bob, it was like this scene where Echo and Bellamy walk up to Blood Reina, and we did a few different takes, but there was like, I was like curious about how Echo would approach Octavia. because there's this like warrior to warrior, like I see you, I recognize you kind of thing. But I also felt that since she lived in space for a few years, that she was different and she might approach it with a bit more softness to appeal to Octavia. And I don't know how that moment played. I feel like it could have been a bit more nuanced, but I do like in the final season that like the two of them like found each other. I think that's really cool and really healing, and I think it says a lot about humanity and our ability to forgive, get over our things, and you know, be there for each other. You know, yeah.
Thank you. I also wanted to say that you were fantastic in Legacy, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So there has to be an episode, or I mean, there has to be a scene in the show that you filmed that actually didn't make it, like in the like final product. Which one would you pick if it was your favorite?
Oh man. No. No. I mean, there was like, so we did, when we were in season 7 and we did like all this stuff in the house with Hope and Chuku, who's Gabriel. A lot of that stuff got edited down, but there was like some, because like, it was almost like a different TV show. Like we're like, look at us gardening, and like there's so much like playing home, like playing house kind of stuff that was like us cooking and us gardening, and like look how much, you know, and a lot of that just got taken right out. It was almost like Jason was like, different show, like love you guys.
It's not very murdery for you.
It was not very murdery. It was a whole new world. Yeah, I was talking to plants.
Yes.
Yeah. And my little tomatoes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Bon dia.
Bon dia.
There was a movie that Joe did not mention that you were in that I had the pleasure of watching several years ago with my daughter. So what was it like working with Grumpy Cat?
Tasya, tell us about what she's talking about, please.
Oh, you might be referring to a classic called Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever?
It's Grumpy Cat 2, I believe.
Do you guys know who Grumpy Cat is?
Was. R.I.P. Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat had the penthouse at the Shangri-La. Grumpy Cat also had the biggest trailer. Grumpy Cat was very well paid. And was still grumpy. But it was wild to me that this was a thing that happened. That I was like, there was a cat that was made famous on social media and now has like a franchise. And it just has like a stinky face.
Did you act with the cat?
I did not. Very sad about that. Very sad. I wanted to go and say hi to the cat, and I got stage fright.
You have one fan of that movie, though.
2.
Okay.
Hi. Wasn't it fun, like, filming on the set of The 100?
It was literally some of the most golden years and memories of my life. You know, like there's like chapters in everyone's life. Like some people are like, oh, college was a good time, and other people are like, or like high school, I loved high school, and other people are like, absolutely not, or whatever. But the 100, it was so crazy and awesome, and we became a family, you know, and it still lives today. Like we still see each other all the time. We love each other so much. It's something that bonds us all together and us together. And it's just been a beautiful part of my life. I feel so grateful, yeah.
You just see Lindsay?
She's staying at my house.
That's right.
Yeah, she's staying at my house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so we've been talking about further in the show you getting Echo's backstory.
Yeah.
But before that, when you had to create a backstory for Echo to sort of fuel your character, what story did you create?
Well, when I first read like so when we meet Echo, it started off as like a 2 to 3 episodes. They're like, here's a role, guest star, 2 to 3 episodes. It's like, okay. Read the thing, and I'm like, oh, like, this looks like, there's like a whole like Bellamy, like, I'll come back for you. And I was like, what's that about? I'm like, this looks like a role that could develop. And then in season 3, no Echo. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's gone. And then all of a sudden in season 4, they were like, just kidding, she's back. And I, without knowing anything about her, she all of a sudden became, she was like, I was like, oh, no. I'm like, no, Echo. I was like, no. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, shoot. And I was like, oh, it just gets, oh, man. Okay. And I was like, how do I understand this? Because when I first met her, like, she was just, you know, a grounder in a cage, and she did something that her and Bellamy, like, got out of Mount Weather. And then I had to get behind the whole, like, other stuff. Like, all of it. And so what I did is I was like, okay, I worked with my coach, and I was like, what makes people this deeply angry? What makes people retaliate with this ruthlessness? What makes people get to a place where they feel justified for behaving this way? And I started studying and looking at child soldiers, as you know. I've shared this before, and I was like, these poor little sweethearts, you know, when they're young, they get taken and turned into child soldiers. And that reality broke my heart. And the more I learned, I'm like feeling myself get emotional, even just like going back to some of the photos and stuff that I saw during my research. But, and so I started developing this story for myself, for Echo, and I got really connected with her. And her resilience and her strength and her ability, you know, to survive all of this chaos. And then Jason and the writers kind of ended up writing something that matched my own backstory that I made for her, and I was like, that's cool, you know? But I knew that it had to come from a place of deep, deep trauma, that she was just like so ruthless and strong. I was like, that's part of her story. And then they made it, so yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, were you happy with how Echo's story wrapped up? And the whole arc of season 7, and her arc in season 7 and this series at large?
David.
Taz. Do you want me to take you off the spot?
Okay, let's go about it this way. There was a story where Echo became integrated with Mother Earth. And Jason, I remember at the beginning of the season, he's like, I don't know how we're going to do this. He's like, but there's a story where Echo becomes a part, where she becomes like nature, and she echoes kind of through the world. And I was like, whoa, that sounds awesome. It's like, I don't know what that means, but I'm like, cool, let's do that. And then the way that season 7 ended up unfurling, she became, you know, she went back to a previous version of herself where she became, you know, another renegade, assassin, murderous person. And I feel like, you know, we told that story about Echo before. And so I would have loved to see a different version of her, but it also made sense for her. That, you know, I mean, am I happy? I'm happy that Echo got a family at the end. That is really a beautiful story for her. But I would have loved to become Mother Earth.
It reminds me of Annihilation. Did you ever see that movie, Annihilation?
Yes.
Tessa Thompson's character?
Exactly.
That's what I was picturing.
Me too.
Becoming Earth.
Have you guys seen Annihilation?
It's spectacular.
I've seen it like 50
psychological
times.
thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really
Love
interesting.
that. Yeah. Thank you, David.
Hello.
Hi.
So I know a lot of times actors might talk about bringing a character home with them or like having trouble like letting go of a character? And I know it's been several years since you played Echo, but are there ever times where you're maybe angry or tense or frustrated about something and you just hear Echo come out?
Yeah. All the time. It scares me. Yeah, it's funny, like you do take those things home with you. And so like when Echo was going through a identity crisis, you know, as we watched her like deal with the Ash, I'm Ash, do I tell my friends I took over this, you know, like there was like some sort of similar thing that was happening with me where I was like, what am I doing in the world? And like, and then you have to, Lindsay and I talk about this all the time, create like a way of dealing with a separation between you and your character. But also, I just feel like I'm a little bit gangster, and and that just happens sometimes, you know? Like, it will come out with my friends. Like, I don't really care about defending myself so much, but if someone fronts on one of my friends, I'll be like, what'd you say? You know, and I'm like, a whole new thing happens, you know? And I'm like, well, there she is. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's like chasing people out of a restaurant, and if there was like a drunk guy being misbehaving, and yeah, like I'd find myself like chasing him out of the restaurant. Don't you come back! Hey.
Hello. So I know there are feelings about season 7, but going through it, I was absolutely certain that how they put you and the others through that kind of training where it was a simulation essentially, right? I was absolutely certain that what we saw of Bellamy's journey was simulation and that transcendence wasn't going to be real. Now, characters didn't see that, like your character and all that, so they probably didn't believe in transcendence like Bellamy did. At what point did the actors find out if transcendence was going to be real or not?
I only heard a little bit of what you said, sorry.
I'm so sorry. Basically, I didn't think transcendence was going to be real. I thought it was part of the simulation. What we saw, what Bellamy went through. And so, you know, the characters didn't see what we saw. And I was wondering when you guys, actors, knew that transcendence was going to be real or not real.
No, we didn't.
I'm still not sure.
I'm not either. Yeah, we didn't know either. I mean, like, I remember like reading the scripts and stuff like that and just being like, this is a big undertaking, you know? But we didn't know how that was going to play out either.
Then I guess a follow-up, if the characters could have known that transcendence was real, would that, I'm sure it would have changed how you all would have interacted with Bellamy's transformation, but he still kind of took a really hard turn. How would Echo, do you think, have handled that, knowing that he was right, but kind of going off the deep end a little bit?
Oh, Echo would have had his back 100%. There'd be no question about it. Like, she's loyal to maybe a fault, one would say, but like, she would be there next to him for sure, you know? Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, that's perfect timing. Everyone give a round of applause for Tasya! Thank you guys. Thanks for coming. In a few minutes will be Eliza and Thomas, my tall friends.
Hello. Thank you guys.